फर्स्ट डे यानी थर्ड डे अंतिम दिवस पर हम सब हैं। आज बहुत पैक्ड है, बैक टू बैक हमारे सुपरस्टार्स हमें ज्वाइन करेंगे और हमारे उन्हीं सुपरस्टार्स में से एक वी हैव अ वेरी डायनेमिक पर्सनालिटी ऑफ अवर आयुर्वेदा। हम सब डॉक्टर कृति सोनी मैम के सेशन की तरफ विद इन अ शार्प 2 मिनट्स बढ़ने वाले हैं। सो प्लीज आप सभी लोग जल्दी से जल्दी सेटल डाउन हो जाएंगे। एंड आफ्टर दैट ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आयुर्वेदम अनंतम 2025 ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आयुर्वेदम फाउंडेशन यू गाइज आर मोस्ट वेलकम। बोलिए भगवान धन्वंतरी जी की। आयुर्वेद है सर्वोपरि, आइए इसे वोकल से ग्लोबल बनाएं और जिसकी नींव आज हम सब रखने वाले हैं। डॉक्टर सोनी मैम इज करंटली हीडिंग R&D एट Kapiva Ayurveda, formerly served as head foundation formulation development Dabur Research Foundation, Sahibabad. She has a vast experience in developing novel drug delivery system which can be used for topical or oral applications. Dr. Soni has developed several patent technologies for the increment of topical परमिटेशन एंड फॉर आयुर्वेदा। सो ये जो इंट्रोडक्शन है लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन वो हमारे बैक टीम ने दिया है। बट ऑन अ सीरियस नोट व्हाट अ पर्सनालिटी वी हैव, जिन्होंने कई सालों से आयुर्वेद की सेवा की है और सेवा और सादगी की प्रतिमूर्ति के साथ वो आज भी जमीन से जुड़ी हैं। और सबसे पहला लेक्चर उन्हीं का हम सब एंजॉय करने वाले हैं। तो आइए हमारे साथ उनके लिए गुरु मंत्र दोहराएंगे। गुरुर ब्रह्मा गुरुर विष्णु गुरुर साक्षात परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ आमंत्रित करेंगे हम सब मंच पर डॉक्टर कृति सोनी मैम को। प्लीज मैम ज्वाइन अस ऑन स्टेज और हम सब आपके एक बहुत फ्रूटफुल सेशन की तरफ बढ़ेंगे। आज एकदम पैक है, बैक टू बैक सेशंस हैं और उसके बाद एंटरटेनमेंट कल्चरल इवेंट। आप सभी लोग प्लीज अपनी अपनी कुर्सियों की पेटियां बांध लीजिए। एक बार जोरदार तालियां आप सभी की होनी चाहिए फॉर डॉक्टर कृति सोनी मैम। थैंक यू मैम ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ आयुर्वेदम फाउंडेशन। ओवर टू यू मैम।
Thank you so much and good morning. I feel that true dedication is being present for an event on a Sunday morning. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope that whatever I'm going to talk about really helps you understand more about how the industry dynamics are working in terms of Ayurveda. So I have worked in the Ayurvedic space for quite some time now, and what happens at the academic level, because I have guided a lot of students for their PhDs and masters, but what I've seen is that sometimes the research projects that we undertake during our education is very, very different from the industrial application. So you might have also experienced the same thing at certain point of time. But the motive of why I'm highlighting this is that, when you or your colleagues take up some projects during research, you have to be very mindful that what is the application of it in the coming days. Because today, we have a lot of access to technology. But when I say we have a lot of access to technology, we have to be very mindful that how we make the best use of that technology. So I am going to talk about how AI is getting integrated into the medical systems and Ayurvedic systems. So as you understand that Ayurveda is a very, very old science, right? And today the modern science is doing just the management of the symptoms of a disease. It is not curing the disease from the root cause. What Ayurveda has been able to do over years, or what the textbooks tell us, is that the information is humongous, it is enormous. But we have not been able to use it fully even today. That's what I feel. There are so many instances where this has been proven right. Like, I will quote you a very basic example that happened in my neighborhood some time back. And it's very interesting to understand what happens. Because I have been very closely associated with the modern sciences and pharmaceutical sciences as well. So one of the prime reactions which happens is that you give a drug which will manage the symptom quickly. For example, there was a child, 11-year-old child, who had some kind of an allergy on the skin. So the basic thing that any doctor or any person would do is give a anti-allergic, which is your levocetirizine or Allegra, something like that, which will basically subside that symptom, because the child can't go to school, he can't write his exam. So that happened for some time, but when that medicine was given, Allegra or cetirizine, there was an enormous reaction on the skin. I can't even tell you how that child looked like when that drug was given. And it took him a lot of time to recover from that kind of a skin reaction. And a lot of things like allergy tests, food allergy tests were done, and it happened for almost a year. But it kept on happening again and again and again and again. And that last, because it was happening so frequently, and even smallest change in his diet was causing it, I recommended them that, it is better to do a Nadi analysis and then go for a Panchkarma treatment maybe. So when that started, we found that the child was bitten by an insect some 1 year back, which none of the parents remembered, nobody remembered, and that basically you can say that the remnant of that bite was causing that kind of a flare in his body. And when he went through the entire Panchkarma treatment, not only the child was having obesity issue, he was a pre-diabetic, 11-year-old child that I'm telling you. And after that treatment of Panchkarma, he not only got cured from that skin allergic reaction, but started losing weight and recovering from that kind of, I would say a lifestyle disorder that was getting started. So imagine what kind of things are happening. And nobody was paying heed on, he was having pre-diabetes, which of course came out when the diagnosis started. Right, when all the blood parameters were done because the allergy was not subsiding. So what I'm trying to tell you is that none of the, I would say, the modern medicines were able to find the reason of it. And when the detox, the Panchkarma and the entire treatment happened, then they realized that, okay, the root cause was something else. And they were just fixing the superficial symptom. So, this kind of a case actually shows that what kind of depth of knowledge and what resources we have in Ayurvedic literature, we still need to be properly communicated to the masses. Had it been a situation when a person is averse to using an Ayurvedic medicine or going to an Ayurvedic practitioner, then this could not have been cured so easily and it might have gotten worse over time. So, such kind of examples actually tell you that, we still need to innovate, we need to exercise a better control over quality of the herbs that we are using in our Ayurvedic medicines to exercise better control on the treatment. So now moving on to the topic which I am going to tell you about is the AI and use of AI in Ayurvedic sciences. So you hear that artificial intelligence is of course, booming today. None of us has been exposed, I don't think that there is no one who has heard about ChatGPT today. A lot of AI tools are there available to make your presentations, make your things faster. In fact, there is a lot of hue and cry about AI being a reason for loss of jobs, right? But, I think it is not the right way to look at it because there are a lot of things that AI can help us with in the medical practice. We know that the knowledge in the medicine is vast. We need to integrate our systems and we have to work towards a cohesive system where we can cure and help people. The first thing in this is diagnosis, right? A lot of people fail at the stage of diagnosis because the diagnosis is not done properly and that is why the treatments are not given properly. So when I say diagnosis and how AI can be helpful in that, you all understand how AI works? Anybody on who doesn't know that how the AI models are made and how it is done? So I'll just give you a brief of it. So over the years, whatever knowledge we have, AI is capable of downloading, you might have seen that movie called Robot of Rajnikant, if you all have seen that, right? So what happens is that a lot of books and a lot of literature can be fed into a system which will basically, it has a very high storage memory, which will basically train the system. So there is a model that is made and you keep on training it with problems. So over a period of time, when you train that model, it becomes very effective. So if you have ever used ChatGPT, you will realize that over a period of time, ChatGPT starts understanding you. That what you are asking it and what kind of person you are. Right? And then it will give replies on answers which basically are very similar to what you do. Because that is, whatever you are feeding to ChatGPT, it is actually understanding your personality. That is why it is artificial intelligence. Like you have friends, you have family, they understand how you will behave in a situation, right? Likewise, ChatGPT trains it. And then it gives you replies. So if ChatGPT understands that you are a Ayurvedic doctor or you are a pharmaceutical scientist, it will start giving you replies like that. And it has been made like that over years. It has taken time to train that model and give you the right answers. Sometimes it gives you wrong answers because maybe the model is not effective enough. Because there are today too many, ChatGPT is just one example. There are so many other AI platforms which are still training themselves. So basically, the main point is that the answers or the thing that will happen is what you feed the software, right? Whatever you will give it. So first of all, to make AI work efficiently, it's very important that you train it efficiently, right? So now, if the diagnosis, if you basically, you have maybe in different systems of medicine, if you talk about, and I am trying to diagnose something, I have 1,000 textbooks, I will have to feed and train the model with those 1,000 textbooks. Once I have done that, of course, you don't have to do it. Some people have already done it. That is why the models are there for you now. But you can actually integrate that with the blood markers or the reports that you get from a patient. See, diagnosis is always based on either an imaging technique or blood markers. So and of course, Nadi dosha and Prakriti analysis is something very, very great. There are softwares today which actually give you dosha analysis, Prakriti analysis. But still, I would say the accuracy of the Vaidyas that they used to do it so efficiently and so accurately is still not there. That is why AI is just to help you. It can never replace your skill. It will never be a human in the form that, it will be able to replace all the medical practitioners, because that can never happen. In patient care, it is very important that you take care of your patient, make them understand. AI can never do that. Tech jobs are very different from what we do as a, healthcare practitioners. So, so coming back to the diagnosis part, so once, you train the model with different kinds of errors or anomalies that happen in particular disease, the model will start giving you replies that, okay, diagnosis might be this. Sometimes what happens is that because of too much information and too many, I would say, disturbances in the diagnostic techniques also, the diagnosis is not being done properly. So this can be one of the advantages where you can integrate different things in a AI software and then get a right diagnosis so that treatment is given in a right way. All right? So that is one of the things. And of course, treatment. Coming to the treatment part of it. When you think of a treatment for a patient, you know that, you have to be very careful of the doshas that are present in the body at that time. And not just the dosha, but of course the season, the time of the day and everything. Like, how the body is behaving to a particular kind of a drug, because not every kind of a medicine will suit everybody. I would say in pharmaceutical practice, what happens is that they will give you 10 drugs, which are just managing symptoms. And you don't know that, how, if it is an antibiotic, we know that it is a 5-day course or something like that. But in case of Ayurvedic medicines, you have to make the patient understand that you have to take this over a period of time of 3 months or 4-5 months to get the root cause settled. So then, of course, in the treatment part of it, there is an enormous role that AI can play. It will actually tell you that, while you have trained the model, then how you can make an efficient treatment regime which will help the patient. And not just that, there is a very important aspect of AI where I think, which is the starting part of it for the all development of Ayurvedic medicine, which is drug discovery and, of course, quality control of herbs. So when I talk about drug discovery, you know that, in Ayurveda, we already have so much text written in the books which still needs to be replicated into medicines. We still don't have everything translated, I guess, because a lot of things have got extinct also, endangered species are there. Not everything is available in the marketing, I would say in the market domain right now. So what can be done in that case? You hear that drug discovery takes a lot of time in pharmaceutical practice, right? COVID has been, I would say, a myth breaker in that, because we developed vaccines at super fast speed, right? But that is actually not very true, because those vaccines were in some way or the other were existing in the system. They were just repositioned and, clinical trials were done and they were, launched in the market very soon. Although the drug discovery is a process that takes 10 to 12 years, usually. In Ayurvedic medicine, it is, I would say, slightly faster because we have some proof of concept in the books written already. But today's science, today's consumer always needs a reassurance. They are always looking for proof of concept, whether this will actually work or not, right? Because that text was written some, X number of years back. How is it valid today? Because at that time, the temperature was different, the climate was very, very different. People behave to medicines in a very different way. Our diets have changed. And so is the physiology of the body. Not the basic physiology, but how we respond to a situation. All right? So that has to be, I would say, proven in the form of a clinical trial. So AI can help you design a clinical trial also in today's time. Because you all understand that a randomized RCT clinical trial is not very, it's not very easy to conduct. You need to be very, very sure of all the markers, all the parameters that you are covering in a clinical trial. So drug discovery, when you come to drug discovery, you are basically re-innovating what has been written in the Ayurvedic text long back. But again, you have to make it modernized. Of course, if I say that, Shodhana is written in some way or the other in the Ayurvedic text, maybe one or two ingredients from that process are not existing today. Or maybe they are not in that right form today, that it can be used and replicated in the form that was written in the Ayurvedic text long back. So what will you do? You will basically make some tweaks to it, right? You will replace something with the other. And now you're not sure whether the product that you have got is similar to what it was written, thousands of years back. So now you have to prove whether, it is having the same efficacy or not. So thankfully, what has happened over years is that we have excellent quality control machines like HPLC, like GCMS, ICP-MS, all of these techniques where you can do a phytochemical analysis, right? In all these herbs, it is very important that whatever marker you are predominantly getting is there in every batch. That is what we call quality control. For example, if I'm working on ashwagandha, I know that milk-treated ashwagandha will give me better vidhanolites. And then, when I have processed it in a certain way, then the efficacy will be in a certain way. We all understand that the efficacy of the herbs change with the vehicle system that we use, right? It is very, very clear that how a vehicle or or I would say the Shodhana process is used, the efficacy of the ingredient or the herb changes. Why that happens? It's a very, very clear, I would say, basic thing that whenever you process a herb in a certain way, the phytoactives that come out of that herb are very, very different, right? There will be an X modulation, like for example, if I talk about amla only, or let's take curcumin for the sake of understanding. If you use different vehicle system to extract the main constitute, the percentage of actives will be very, very different. Okay, so for example, if I take the Shodhana process wherein I am treating ashwagandha with milk, and on the other hand, because of some constraint or cost or anything, I have done the same thing with water, the percentage of vidhanolite will be very different. You can actually see that in a chromatogram. That, the peaks are very different, the concentration of peaks are very different. Now, when the peaks and the phytoactives that are coming in the extract are different, the efficacy will be entirely different, right? So whenever you make a product, whenever you make a medicine, it's very important that you select the right ingredient and the right process. If the right process is not there, you will never get an effective product. So be it, you make 1,000 products in a year and launch them in the market, they are not having repeat buys, because, market also tells you the efficacy, that report that comes from the doctors also tell you that this particular product is good, but this is not showing that much of efficacy. So reason being that the selection of the ingredient or the starting raw materials is not right. Or maybe the process that you have used in the entire development is not right. So what AI can do is it will help you standardize this process. Because over a period of time, what has happened is unfortunately, because there is a huge demand in our country. We all understand that India is a large market today. When I say market, it means that we have so many consumers. We are consumer ourselves, right? We are consuming so many products. But apart from that, because of the wealth of the knowledge and the proof of efficacy that people have seen over years, it has become very, very, I would say, acceptable in the global markets. Today, US is using ashwagandha, right? They have patented so many herbs that we have originally innovated. India has actually gone ahead and retracted a lot of US patents, because it was done on curcumin, it was done on ashwagandha. So, that information, because it is already existing in our Ayurvedic systems, we have been able to do it, right? But because they just renovated it with modern sciences, they were trying to patent those herbs. So this is very, I would say, eye-opening that there is so much information, but just by adding a modern technique to it, you can make it so global. I don't know whether you all have heard about KSM ashwagandha, KSM 66 ashwagandha, if you've heard. So ashwagandha as such, we use root powders in Ayurveda, and root powders, what happens in powders is that there are a lot of disturbances in terms of impurities. We all understand when you ground the powder, there might be, heavy metals, there might be contamination of pesticides, everything. And that quality control is very important, that you are giving the right thing to your consumers. So if you do the testing properly, you will be able to find out that, this particular herb powder might be having these XX contaminants. So AI can help you whether these are within the normal ranges or not. When herbs are, exported from India, this is a major issue that Indian people face. Because of the, increasing the yield per hectare, a lot of herbicides and pesticides are used on the herbs, right? We all are aware of it. Plus, the groundwater supply is also responsible for increasing the amount of contaminants in the herbs, which of course comes through water, because herbs are growing because of the soil and the water, right? And the environment. So what happens is, because of the change in the environment, change in the soil physiology, the quantity of the herbal phytoconstituent changes in the herbs. And because of that, there are different qualities. Like if you go to the market, you will see, for example, let's take an example of foods only, or dry fruits. You see that there are varieties which are 1,000 rupees kg, 2,000 rupees kg, 3,000 rupees kg. Now why that happens? What is the difference? There is either a size difference, taste difference, or some kind of a geographical difference. Now in herbal medicine, it is very important that if you go back to the literature, you will see they have actually described how a plant is grown or how a medicine is processed. There is a reason to do that. And unfortunately, because of the huge demand today, we are not able to practice the same things. And that is why there is a lot of variation in the activity of those herbal medicines. So what we have to do is that taking the information from the text, wherein they tell us that, this kind of environment is needed. You all know about hydroponics? So artificial systems are there to replicate the systems which are needed for a herb or a plant to grow. You can actually do that and then ensure by use of AI that the constituents that are needed in a particular herbal medicine are what you need, so that the product that you get is the final product. And of course, you do the testing rigorously. When I say do the testing rigorously, it means that, you check your final product of the herb powder for heavy metals, pesticides, aflatoxins. All that is very, very important. Because that is where, when you export products, Indian systems, Indian ingredients literally get stuck. Because they feel that in order to increase the production, you might have added these contaminants, or you might have used such kind of herbicides and pesticides. So that can be reduced by processing. And now what happens is that in the West and in many countries, what they have been able to do is that they have introduced purification processes in the extractions. Because of purification processes, what happens is that you are able to isolate the active marker. So for example, I can have an extract with about 10% vithanolide, which is a purified fraction, and now I have done a RCT, randomized clinical trial, where I have seen that ashwagandha has been able to reduce at a dose of 150 mg, as opposed to 1000 mg powder or 500 mg powder that you are given in a normal capsule in normal systems. But that 150 mg purified isolated extract is able to give me efficacy in about 30 days. When I say efficacy, it means reduction in cortisol levels or increase in testosterone levels. So such kind of clinical trials have already been done all over the world, wherein the doses have been reduced because the purified extracts have been introduced. The purified extracts are able to give you better efficacy in a specified time at a lower dose, right? And there are, of course, technologies wherein the bioavailability of the extracts are enhanced. We understand that if you change the carrier, the efficacy or the bioabsorption of an ingredient changes. Like for example, curcumin is never taken in a hydrophilic system. It is always given with milk or ghee so that it is absorbed in the body because it is a lipophilic molecule. So now with the same principle, when you make the purification or extraction process, or you basically do a complexation in the extract, now this is a fortified extract, fortified thing, which will give you fabulous efficacy in a specified time at a lower dosage. And that is how the modern medicine is re-innovating Ayurveda, right? They are doing quality control, they are basically checking for impurities, and all this ensures that there is so much to do still with, there are thousands and so many X number of herbs lying which need to be re-innovated. So there only a couple of herbs have got highlighted in the, I would say, global systems, because it takes a lot of time to do all this research and get out a molecule finally. But again, AI can fast track the process. It can help you deliver the products faster in the market. And when you have a fortified product in the market, which is in accordance with the Ayurvedic principle, processed in the way prescribed in the literature, it will definitely give you better efficacy. And of course, gives you a better price to command in the market. That is how it's happening. So what I'm trying to say over here is that AI has given you an excellent tool wherein you can optimize, standardize your process. And while doing that, you can ensure that you are delivering the best product out to your consumer with a lot of efficacy. So that is what I wanted to highlight. And of course, if anybody has any questions, please go ahead and ask. But with this, I would like to conclude because there are endless things that can be spoken about how AI can integrate and help in modernizing and even making the healthcare system faster and better. But the important thing is to realize and take the best things out of it and implement them in your research, implement them in your treatment practice, and help people out there. Because these tools are just to help the people in the treatments, in the diagnosis, and of course, deliver better products to the market in the days to come. Because, the demand is not going to reduce, it will increase in the days to come. Because it's not just the Indian subcontinent that you are serving, you will be serving to the global standards. And when we are serving to the global standards, it's important that we adapt. If we don't adapt to the modern medicines, then it's always said that either you adapt or perish. So you can't let this system perish because we know that it is very valuable, it is having a lot of wealth. And we can't allow others to come and explore things in India. You might have seen that there are so many sanctuaries where, people from abroad come and stay and then get treated and go back. There are so many places in Rishikesh and so many places where they get treatments in the Ayurvedic way. So, group of people from other countries come every year, they spend days, they get treated and they go back. And they take a lot of information with them. They do replicate that there and they start practicing medicine there. Which is very encouraging because we understand that this is working. This is working for people. Because when you go into the depth of clinical trials, you will understand that when you do a clinical trial, it is also related to the inclusion criteria of a patient. So when you say inclusion criteria of the patient, there are very clear guidelines about the populations on which the testing is done. Like for example, as a Ayurvedic practitioner, if I want to launch a medicine which is not having a clinical trial on US population, I will not be able to launch it in US with medical claims. Either I can say a food supplement, like Chyawanprash comes under food supplement in US. But in India, we know that it is a classical or a proprietary Ayurvedic medicine, depending on the composition of the Chyawanprash that you have used. And we know that it has potential to cure so many problems. But because we can't make those health claims without the clinical trial, and the clinical trials have to be done on that population, because genetically, although we are 99.9% same, but that 0.1% makes all of us different. Right? We all are different. We behave differently to situations, we behave differently to environment changes, to different kinds of microbes. COVID has been one such example. We have seen that some people contracted, some did not, some had better immunities. Why is that happening? All of this, that kind of personalization can come in with the AI. You can understand how, the different people are behaving, and that's how you can train the model and make better use of it. So the gist of it, the entire conclusion of what I'm trying to say is that let's use the technology in a better way to match the global standards and deliver the best products out there and be the forefrontiers in the entire medical regime. So because we know that we can't let just, the technology override us and not use it in the best way that we can. So thank you so much. And if anybody has any questions, you're welcome. Anyone? You can raise hand. I can give the mic over there. All right.
Come forward, brother. Come forward. We have a mic over here. Come. Lead wala mic. On wala mic on karna, please.
how we approach AI, how we inculcate this AI into an Ayurveda. So with this session, I understood that AI was very much useful in Ayurveda, but how we as a young practitioner or aspirants for the BMS, how we use this AI in Ayurveda.
Yeah, so what, like I said, that you can train the model with the data that you already have. Like, for example, if you are treating a certain kind of patients with a certain disorder, like you have 100 patients with a liver disorder, you can actually feed that data of whatever you have found in those patients into the AI and train the model that, like, for example, you fed to the model that I have 100 patients, like you list all the patients and you list down the genders. Then you give the marker analysis for them, like SGOT, SGPT, or even the scanning result for fatty liver that has come up, and what kind of treatment you gave and what happened after the treatment. So this is a part of training the model. So from that kind of a subset, the model will be able to understand that, in this kind of a patient with this kind of a marker, this treatment works or this doesn't work. So this is basically training and developing it from scratch. Right? You train the model, and after a certain point of time, the model will understand, okay, this, if such kind of a patient comes in, I have to prescribe this medicine which will work in X many days. So the AI is that efficient that from a huge cloud of the data, it will be able to give you the output. But first you have to feed the correct data to the AI. That's what I said. It's very important that you train the model well, and that comes from a clinical trial. Like, for example, even if you don't have the data for 100 patients, for example, but you know that there are models or clinical trials that have been done on that kind of a disorder. So you feed the data from those clinical trials into the model and train the model, and then the model will, for example, then you go and tell the model that I have a patient X, female, who has reported this SGOT, SGPT, and this kind of a scan report. What should be the treatment regime? It will be able to give you based on the data that has been fed into the system. So this is also a part of in silico clinical trials. I don't know whether you have heard of it or not, but there is a system wherein in silico clinical trials have come up which save time. Like, for example, I want to do a trial on 1,000 diabetes patients. It is very time consuming, because a diabetes patient will have to undergo a 3-month clinical trial where you take a baseline HbA1c, then you take a 3-month end 90 days ka HbA1c, and of course you monitor at different time points. So it is cost intensive, it is time intensive. So if you have that kind of a published data from a domain, public domain, you train the model in such a way, then it will be able to give you the right results. But I would say AI is still not that efficient that it will realize that the data that you have fed into the AI is right or wrong. Now that the answer that it gives you is your discretion, that you understand that it is correct or not. So still a lot of work to be done there.
Yes, ma'am. For that, we need to prepare a specific AI tool.
Yes, you need to develop that. So that has to be worked in coordination with the software or, the AI, I would say the developers who basically feed that data into the system.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, ma'am, that was actually kind of innovative session, to be honest, because everyone is saying AI is more of a buzzword, but समझ ही नहीं आता AI में करना क्या.
Right.
Ma'am, point is that ma'am, आजकल Wikipedia पे information change करना बहुत point is that it is very tough to, very easy to modulate the information.
Yes.
My first question was that how to verify the source, that we doctors all have our reference texts, Charak, Shushan and Markberts. For every reference, we always talk about their references. But in the chat GPT AI on a remote, if I'm in a remote location, how to verify the source? And the second thing is that, ma'am, that if I have in the 5 degrees, we don't learn about tech. We may be the new generation, but we are not interested in tech, the kinds of that. So we need to start with this tech. The point is that everyone knows the apps, but even in the Perplexity AI, the ATL is giving free, ChatGPT is free, but we don't know even where to start it and how to start it.
So see, when I started using these tools, or when I actually was trying them out, the best approach was that I already knew what I'm asking it. So that information is already with me. That's why I'm saying that it can never replace humans, right? Because see, you have learned it in your studies over years. That knowledge is already with you. You are first testing whether this particular tool is giving you the right information. So again, the tool will give you the information that you have fed into it. So if I want to, that's why I gave you the example of the movie Robot. I have fed the books into it, and now it is giving me replies based on the books that I have fed into it. So it's my responsibility that I command it properly. You know, it is ultimately a robot, right? It is artificial. You have to use your discretion. And to comment upon that, you know, it's a very general thing that happens that हर डॉक्टर का प्रैक्टिस भी अलग होता है, हर किसी की मेडिसिन प्रिस्क्राइब करने का तरीका भी अलग होता है, राइट? एंड सम पीपल से कि अरे मुझे ना उस डॉक्टर की सूट करती है, उसकी नहीं करती. सो दैट इज समथिंग दैट इज पर्सनलाइजेशन. एंड यू हैव टू बेसिक उस पर्सनलाइजेशन पे आप कैसे आओगे? व्हेन यू फीड द करेक्ट डेटा टू इट. सो सोर्स जो है वो आइडेंटिफाई करना ना हमारा काम है. दैट वी हैव टू डू इट बिकॉज अदरवाइज इट विल नॉट गिव यू राइट रिजल्ट्स. तो AI अभी भी वो बेसिकली आई वुड से दैट टेक है जो अभी भी इट नीड्स ट्रेनिंग. मतलब हम उसको पूरी तरह से रिप्लेस और उसकी जो आंसर्स हैं उस पर रिलाई नहीं कर सकते. वी स्टिल हैव टू वैलिडेट, वी हैव टू स्टिल चेक इट, क्योंकि अभी देयर इज़ लॉट टू डू इन दैट. तो वो सोर्स आइडेंटिफिकेशन इज अप टू अस. लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ आई वॉन्ट टू यू नो वर्क ऑन अ पर्टिकुलर मेडिसिन, मेरे को पता है कि वो मेडिसिन का रेफरेंस इस XXX बुक में है, तो मैं उसको बोलूँगी भैया ये बुक्स के मैं डाउनलोड दे रही हूँ, मतलब आई हैव द सॉफ्ट कॉपी और आई हैव इट इन सम फॉर्म और द अदर, एंड देन आई विल कमांड इट टू यू नो गो थ्रू इट एंड गिव मी द फाइनल रिस्पॉन्स. वो रिस्पॉन्स लेना नहीं लेना भी मेरी डिस्क्रिप्शन पे है कि मुझे लगता है कि हाँ ये वाला सही है कि नहीं. और अगर उस रिस्पॉन्स के बाद इफ़ यू आस्क द AI ना कि अरे व्हाट कैन बी द अल्टरनेट ऑफ इट, और डू यू थिंक दैट देयर कैन बी 3 अदर रिस्पॉन्सेज, वो दे देगा आपको. बिकॉज यू नो अगेन जैसे हम लोग अलग अलग तरह के लोग अलग अलग तरह सोचते हैं, वो भी कर सकता है. तो इट इज़ अगेन आई वुड से वेरी डिस्क्रेशनरी थिंग. मतलब आपको खुद ही सोच के फ्रॉम योर ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस यू हैव टू ट्रेन AI.
मैं मीन्स आप तो कह रहे हो लगता है युक्ति प्रमाण यहाँ पे भी लगाना पड़ेगा सिंपल भाषा में बोलो.
या
मैम कौन सा टूल से स्टार्ट करें? मतलब आप बोलो तो कमांड डालना, पर कौन से से शुरू करें और कैसे करें?
So I have personally used ChatGPT and Perplexity.ai. वो दोनों मुझे अभी तक आई हैव नॉट यूज्ड एनी अदर, बट मैंने भी बहुत सुपरफिशियल थिंग्स के लिए यूज़ किया, बट आई थिंक दे आर गुड टू स्टार्ट विद. देन इवेंचुअली यू कैन यू नो थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होता जाएगा, तो आई वुड नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन आई कम आई वुड रियली लाइक टू सी दैट आपने कुछ डेवलप करा है क्योंकि अभी तक डायग्नोसिस के लिए कोई अच्छा टूल नहीं है. तो मे बी यू नो दैट कैन बी अ स्टार्टअप आइडिया.
मैम मतलब इसके लिए तो फिर वही होगा ना कि हम जो IIT बैकग्राउंड से वाले हैं उनको पर्सनलाइज्ड अप्रोच करें. जैसे हम ऑर्गेनिक मेडिसिन के लिए फार्मर्स को अप्रोच करना शुरू कर दिया, मतलब इसके लिए मुझे IIT वालों को अप्रोच करके अपना डाटा फीड अप करवाना.
यस यू हैव टू टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम देम बिकॉज सी वो चीज़ जो है ट्रेनिंग दी सॉफ्टवेयर ट्रेनिंग दी AI वो हम नहीं कर सकते हैं. There are specialized people sitting out there who can help you do that, and maybe you can work in collaboration with them and come out with certain tool which can help you decode, you know, in a better way of all the diagnosis reports.
इंटीग्रेटिव अप्रोच कह सकते हैं हमसे?
Sorry?
इंटीग्रेटिव अप्रोच कैसे?
हाँ, मतलब it is like a multidisciplinary research, but it can be a full-fledged project to do because अभी भी the AI models are not that adept to do the diagnosis, treatment, etc. Because उनको बनाया गया नॉर्मल चीज़ों के लिए था, but because you know so many people are using it, तो it is आप सोचो जितने लोग हैं वर्ल्ड में whatever data they are feeding model is getting trained from that. So आप अलग से भी एक क्रिएट कर सकते हैं प्लेटफॉर्म which is very different from what ChatGPT and Perplexity have because उनके अंदर तो दुनिया भर का डेटा जा रहा है, but you can actually create a very focused kind of a platform where you can test this out.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
मेरा नाम हिमांशु झा है. तो मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन है, मैम डाटा फीड करेंगे तो उससे सर्च होके आएगा, तो मैम वो तो गूगल जैसे ही हो जाएगा ना कि इंडेक्स कर रहे हैं अपन चीज़ों को, सर्च कर रहे हैं एक तरह से.
डेटा फेड करके आप डेटा फीड करना ऑल्सो मीन्स जैसे मैंने क्लिनिकल ट्रायल का डेटा बोला, आपके पास रिजल्ट्स भी हैं उसके, आप सिर्फ एनालिसिस कर रहे हो उसका. मतलब यू आर बेसिकली क्रिएटिंग अ जिसे हम डेटा की सेंस में कहते हैं कि आप क्लाउड बना के उसकी ग्रुपिंग कर रहे हो. तो ग्रुपिंग द डेटा इज़ इंपॉर्टेंट. लाइक व्हेन आई से ग्रुपिंग इट मीन्स कि मेरे पास 1000 पेशेंट्स का डेटा था, 1000 पेशेंट्स में से देवर X नंबर ऑफ फीमेल्स X नंबर ऑफ मेल्स, और उसके अंदर कुछ लोग थे जिनका हाइपरलिपिडीमिया और शुगर लेवल इस पर्टिकुलर रेंज में था, कुछ थे जिनका दूसरी रेंज में था, कुछ थे जिनका तीसरी रेंज में था. तो इट विल क्रिएट दैट कोहॉर्ट, ग्रुप्स बनाएगा और फिर उससे एनालिसिस करेगा. तो AI का काम करने का तरीका इज़ वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेटेजाइज्ड. तो वो शायद
खुद ही मतलब कोडिंग वगैरह करता हूँ, मेरे को आता है कोडिंग वगैरह. एंड अभी क्या है AI का यूज़ बहुत करता हूँ. अब मेरा प्लेटफॉर्म है आयुर्वेद सिद्धि, तो उस पर हम लोग AI सॉफ्टवेयर बनाते हैं स्टूडेंट्स के लिए. तो अभी अच्छा खासा सेल होता है, लैक्स में जाता है हम लोग का रेवेन्यू. सो मेरा यही था कि उसमें जाना है कि डॉक्टर्स के लिए क्या कुछ डेवलप कर सकते
डॉक्टर्स
हैं।
के लिए आप यही डेवलप कर सकते हो कि जैसे मान लीजिए कि जो एक क्वालिटी कंट्रोल या किस तरह से मेडिसिन को टेस्ट करना है या कैसे आपको जज करना है कि कौन सी मेडिसिन दूसरे से बेटर है, एक कंपैरिजन, एक ऐसा कुछ बना सकते हैं। दूसरा आप बना सकते हैं कि डायग्नोसिस कैसे बेटर किया जा सकता है या ट्रीटमेंट में आप कैसे और एफिशिएंट हो सकते हो। कि मतलब जैसे आजकल क्या होता है ना कि नॉट एवरीबडी इज हैप्पी टेकिंग 10 मेडिसिन टुगेदर, हाउ यू कैन रिड्यूस दैट थिंग, मेक इट बेटर फॉर द कंज्यूमर कंप्लायंस, ये सब चीज़ें आप ट्राई कर सकते हो।
हाँ, उस पर जरूर मालूम देखेंगे।
All right, thank you. So no other questions? Okay, too many questions. मैंने बहुत कम बताया लग रहा है।
सॉरी मैम, नमस्ते मैम, मेरा नाम उत्कर्ष है।
हाँ।
मैं ये मैम पूछना चाह रहा था कि अभी मैं एक ऐप से इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ, एट्रियम करके है, जो मेनली MBBS वालों के लिए है। तो उसमें वो पूरा AI बेस है, जैसे ड्यूलिंगो हम लोग लैंग्वेजेस सीखने के लिए करते हैं।
Yes, yes.
तो वो सेम वैसी है। मैंने ट्राई किया, उसमें वो केसेस वगैरह दे रहा है और आपको डायग्नोसिस बनाना है, उसमें मेडिसिन देनी है, फिर वो बाद में आपको सारा बताता है कि आपने क्या गलत उसमें लैब रिपोर्ट्स ली हैं या क्या गलत मेडिसिन लिखी हैं। तो अगर जैसे अभी जो रिसेंटली आए थे उन्होंने कहा वो AI डेवलप करते हैं, तो अगर ऐसा कुछ वो कर सकें, ऐप डाउनलोड करके एक बार देखें वो कैसा है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग अगर वो मतलब पूरा आयुर्वेद से रिलेटेड कोई एक ऐसी ऐप बन सके तो हम लोगों के लिए ऐसा
इट
बेनिफिशियल
कैन बी मेड। बस वही है कि आपको डेटा जैसे जो भी क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स हैं, जैसे कि मैंने बोला कि अभी क्या है ना कि अब तो क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स बहुत होने लगे हैं आयुर्वेद में भी, क्योंकि हर कोई आजकल प्रूफ मांगता है। और मैंने जैसा कहा कि चीज़ें बदल गई हैं इतने सालों में, तो अब वही चीज़ काम कर रही है आज की डेट में, आज की जनरेशन पे, वो देखना ज़रूरी है। तो उस तरह का डेटा अगर आप फीड करोगे आपके अंदर तो डेफिनेटली इट कैन बी मेड। मतलब इसमें कोई डिफिकल्टी नहीं है, बस वो एफर्ट है कि वो सारा डेटा कोलेक्ट करके आपको एक सॉफ्टवेयर में फीड करना है, फिर उसको ट्रेन करना है, एंड देन यू हैव टू सी वेदर इट इज़ एक्चुअली वैलिड एंड इट इज़ गिविंग यू राइट रिस्पॉन्सेज। क्योंकि अगेन अगर आप ठीक से डेटा नहीं डालोगे तो आंसर भी सही नहीं आएगा।
यस मैम, बट मतलब मैम ऐसी था जैसे इतने सारे डॉक्टर्स हैं जो बहुत पुराने पुराने हैं, जिनका बहुत सारा एक्सपीरियंस है, अगर वो अपने मतलब ऐसा होता है ना कि मेरा मन है, मैंने इतना सीखा है, तो मैं कोई एक से कनेक्ट करके बता दूं कि भाई ये चीज़ें हैं और मैं इसे आप कर सकते हो यूज़।
कर सकते हैं, दिस इज पॉसिबल, बट वही है कि मतलब आई एम स्टिल नॉट अवेयर ऑफ अ सॉफ्टवेयर दैट हैज़ कम अप फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर यूज। मे बी देर इज इन डेवलपमेंट जो रिलीज होगा, लेकिन आई थिंक इट इज़ वेरी वेरी डूएबल, करा जा सकता है।
ओके, थैंक यू मैम।
थैंक यू। ऑल राइट, या
नमस्ते मैम। मैम मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जैसे AI टूल्स हम यूज़ करते हैं तो पेशेंट जब हमारे पास आता है तो ऑलरेडी अपनी सारी डिजीज़ के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन लेकर आता है।
वो गूगल से पढ़ के आते हैं ना।
मैम आते हैं लेकिन वो इतने नॉलेजेबल हो जाते हैं कि हमसे क्वेश्चन अच्छे से वो कर सकते हैं।
हाँ,
ठीक है मैम, तो ऐसे कंडीशन में हम क्या करेंगे? क्योंकि वो दवा के बारे में भी पता करके आते हैं, नहीं नहीं ये दवा हम यूज करके आए हैं, ये दवा हमारे लिए काम की नहीं है।
सो देखिए उसमें क्या होता है ना कि देन यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड कि वो पता तो करके आए हैं पर कर कितना रहे हैं। मतलब इफ़ दे आर डूइंग इट राइटली, प्रैक्टिस सही है कि नहीं, किस टाइम ऑफ द डे पे ले रहे हैं, किस व्हीकल के साथ ले रहे हैं, तो आप वो उस डिटेल में जाना है। वो इन्फॉर्मेशन शायद गूगल भी उनको नहीं दे पाएगा। तो वही मैं कह रही हूँ कि किस तरह से उसको प्रोसेस करना है, किस विधि से लेना है, वो सब तो आप जानते हैं ना।
मैम चैट GPT तो यहाँ तक बता देता है किस अनुपान के साथ आपको उस दवा को लेना है, वो उसके साथ भी यूज करके आ रहे हैं हमारे पास में।
अच्छा हाँ नहीं, कुछ मॉडल्स हैं बहुत ट्रेंड है।
और मैम रिसेंटली अभी जैसे आपने एक अश्वगंधा वाला बताया था, तो मैम अश्वगंधा जैसे हम टैबलेट बना रहे हैं तो जो चूर्ण फॉर्म है वो तो इजिली एब्जॉर्बेबल है, तो उसी को हम और प्यूरिफाई करके क्यों नहीं यूज करें? टैबलेट क्यों बना रहे हैं मैम उसका?
नहीं तो प्यूरिफाई करके अवेलेबल है ना। आप टैबलेट बनाते हैं तो 500 mg एक्सट्रैक्ट डालते हैं। एक्सट्रैक्ट में कंटामिनेंट्स हैं, इम्प्योरिटीज़ हैं और चीज़ें हैं जो इंटरफेयर करती हैं एफिकेसी में। लेकिन अगर आप उसको प्यूरिफाइड फ्रैक्शन में यूज़ करेंगे तो 150 mg का कैप्सूल अवेलेबल है। आप जाके जिया हर्ब्स या कोई और भी बहुत सारे ब्रांड्स हैं US के, देखोगे इतना सा कैप्सूल आता है 150 mg का। तो एफिकेसी उसकी शायद 500 mg के पाउडर से बेटर है, क्योंकि उन्होंने उसको क्लिनिकल में भी वैलिडेट किया है, प्यूरिफाई किया, अनवांटेड चीज़ें हटा दी हैं। तो मैं वही कह रही हूँ कि जो इनोवेशन है, जो रिसर्च है, वो इसी डायरेक्शन में होनी चाहिए कि हाउ वी कैन प्यूरिफाई एंड मेक देम बेटर, और जो अनवांटेड चीज़ें उनको हटा दें। तो दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ नीडेड। मतलब वो जो है वो देखो वो AI सजेस्ट कर पाएगा, लेकिन करना तो हमें ही पड़ेगा ना लैब में, इंडस्ट्री में। तो दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ नीडेड। बाकी जो जहाँ तक थ्योरेटिकल इन्फॉर्मेशन की बात है जो पेशेंट्स के पास होती है, आपका फ़र्ज़ है ये देखना कि वो एक्चुअली फॉलो कितना कर रहे हैं और उसको सही तरीके से कर रहे हैं। कोई इनकम्पैटिबिलिटी या कोई इनकम्पैटिबल फूड तो नहीं ले रहे हैं। तो ऑल दैट इज़ समथिंग दैट यू ओनली अ प्रैक्टिशनर कैन गाइड। AI will give you theoretical information, but it is not, what you know in a practice. So that hand holding, that human touch to the entire treatment is very important, which comes from the physician only. So that is where I think there is a lot of gap between AI and human intervention.
मैम एक क्वेश्चन और था सर। मैम जैसे अभी शोधन मारण के बारे में आप बता रही थी, तो क्या एआई टूल्स उसमें हेल्प करेगा हमारी?
शोधन मारन का जो टेक्निक है वो आपका जो टेक्स्ट में लिखा है वो आपको फॉलो करना है। उसमें हेल्प करने में ये है कि वो आपको ये बता सकता है कि फाइनल आउटपुट में आपको क्या देखना है।
जी मैम।
तो वो एआई कर सकता है, लेकिन अगेन आई थिंक मैं तो आज भी एआई पे पूरा रिलाई नहीं करूँगी। मुझे ऐसा ही लगता है कि जो हमारी अपनी टेक्स्ट बुक्स हैं, हमें अपनी ट्रेडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन से चलना चाहिए। हाँ, हम अगर कभी कभी होता है ना कि हमारे ध्यान से कोई चीज़ स्लिप हो जाती है, तो वो स्लिप चेक करने के लिए वी कैन सी कि ये बोल क्या रहा है, लेकिन उसकी पूरी बात पे रिलाई नहीं करना है। मतलब यू हैव टू यूज़ योर ब्रेन, नॉट द आर्टिफिशियल हेड। दैट इज़ व्हाट आई फील।
थैंक यू मैम।
ठीक है, ऑल राइट।
मैम प्लीज बी ऑन द स्टेज। एक बार जोरदार तालियां हम सभी की मैम के लिए होनी चाहिए। आयुर्वेद कैसे टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ जुड़ेगा, डेफिनेटली एक बहुत प्यारा सेशन हमने एंजॉय किया। हमारे आयुर्वेदम फाउंडेशन की टीम से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा डॉक्टर पूजा मैम, डॉक्टर नैन्सी मैम एंड डॉक्टर शुभम सर, प्लीज़ आप स्टेज पर आकर मैम का फेलिस्ट्रेशन करें और हम सब आज के इस खूबसूरत से कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाएं। ऑफ कोर्स आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट श्री का अवार्ड है वो इस समय प्रेषित किया जाएगा। सो प्लीज सर जॉइन अस ऑन स्टेज। हमारे एक प्रतिष्ठित आयुर्वेदाचार्य एवं अग्निकर्म विशेषज्ञ वैद्य उदय तलहार सर आयुर्वेद केसरी इस समय के अवार्ड से सम्मानित करते हुए नजर आएंगे। हमारी वैद्य डॉक्टर कृति मैम। एआई का समान, एआई से कुछ भी पूछो बता देता है। पूछो मोदी जी 15 लाख कब देंगे। So many congratulations. Thank you so much Dr. Kriti ma'am for joining us today. It was really a fruitful session for our lovely students. Thank you so much Dr. Pooja ma'am, Dr. Nancy ma'am and Dr. Shubham sir are joining us on stage. Now